In 2008, archaeologists uncovered two 9,000-year-old skeletons. There's no definitive way of knowing what killed these ancient people, but we do know their bones were infected by an all-too-familiar bacterium. The ancient Greeks knew its consumptive effects as phthisis. The Incans called it chaki-onke, and the English called it tuberculosis. Today, tuberculosis, or TB, is still one of the world's biggest infectious killers, causing more deaths than malaria or even HIV and AIDS. But what exactly is this disease, and how has this pathogen persisted for so long?
Tuberculosis can easily spread from infected person by coughing, sneezing, or any other ways that nuclear droplets can reach a healthy person. The mechanism of dispersion of tuberculosis is that when an infected person sneezes or coughs, they can release nuclear droplets containing Microbacterium tuberculosis into the air and infect the person near to them. Mycobacterium tuberculosis enter the body and travel to the lungs, where it settles at alveoli. Mycobacterium multiply in the alveoli and taken up by the alveolar macrophage. The infected macrophage is surrounded by B cell, T cell, and other macrophage forming granuloma. After a few weeks, disease symptoms appear as many macrophages die, releasing tubercle bacilli and forming a Castile center in the tubercle. Bacteria remain dormant and will use in reactivation. Liquefaction or enlargement of Castile center occur and formed an air-filled tuberculous cavity where the aerobic bacilli multiply outside the macrophage. When the tubercle ruptures, the bacteria is spilled into the bronchiole and spread throughout the lung.
The ghosts of men and women fill the wards of government hospitals across India. They stare silently, suspended in limbo between the living and the dead. These patients are the infected, victims of a contagion so lethal it kills almost 1.5 million people globally every year and infects a further 9 million. Despite an arsenal of drugs, tuberculosis is making a devastating resurgence in one of the world's most populated countries.
TB continues to kill 2 Indians every 3 minutes. It's a staggering figure, one that would cause outrage in any European country or in the United States of America, but which is just accepted as par for the course in this country.
For decades, the Indian government has wrestled with this epidemic, introducing a nationwide free treatment program for the poorest and most vulnerable. But instead of killing the bacteria, doctors say misdiagnosis and incomplete treatments have allowed TB to thrive like never before.
The germs are becoming smarter. They are becoming resistant to the antibiotics that have been around for 50 years. When someone who has tuberculosis is not treated appropriately or doesn't completely consume the medicines that they've been prescribed, they have a likelihood of going on to become drug resistant.
I'm Karishma Vyas, and on 101 East this week, we're in India, where a deadly mutant strain of tuberculosis is spreading across the country.